of course, we're all still happy and excited about the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals have finally extended Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But to me, and should be the rest of the fans, they should not be done. They should be actually far from done the rest of this offseason. There's a bunch of moves that I'm going to talk about today, not a bunch, but a few moves that I think could even help us land extending another one of our big names. You cut a few guys, you give the money to somebody else who deserves it more. Let's jump right into it. Before I do that, thank you again for all the love you show on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel where we break down all the latest reports, trades, rumors, everything on Cincinnati. We'll talk right here on the Cincinnati Bengals Digest channel. Thank you so much for watching, but let's jump right into it. So first, this is where the report is coming from. 2 realistic cuts for Bengals following Jamar Chase T. Higgins extensions. First guy, obviously, he was on that page, the report. Germaine Pratt, and he has already requested a trade from the Cincinnati Bengals. Don't know how willing the Bengals are going to get rid of him because he has been a key factor in our defense. He was also drafted when Al Golden was our linebacker coach, so they might have that connection now that Al Golden is the defensive coordinator. That might lead him to stay a little bit more. But if I was the front office for the Cincinnati Bengals, I wouldn't be too opposed to trading him, getting as much value as I could for Germaine Pratt. Obviously, it would be sad letting him go. He's been with the Bengals since 2019, and he was the player that won us our first playoff game in 31 years. He got the interception against the Raiders late in that game, which sealed the deal that we were winning our first playoff game. In 2024, this is what he did. He had 143 total tackles, 80 solo tackles, actually top 10 in tackles, but also top 10 in missed tackles as well. He had 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 interceptions. That would be the main factor I would be missing from Germaine Pratt, is the fact that randomly all the time he would come out of nowhere and get 1 or 2 picks a season in huge moments. But this is what would happen if the Bengals were to cut him or trade him. His base salary is for 2025 is $5.25 million. His cap hit for 2025 is $8.18. So if we cut him or trade him, we are decreasing or increasing our cap space by $8.18 million. So almost $10 million would be opened up if Germaine Pratt was no longer being on 2025. And PFF grade wise, it would seem like the smart move, especially with bringing Norm Burks and drafting a guy like Jahad Campbell could fill that role of Germaine Pratt easily and fast. PFF grade-wise in 2024, 60.6 overall, 110th among all linebackers. That's below average, by the way. 54.5 pass grade, 121, 121st among all linebackers, below average again. His only above grade average-wise was 70.1 run grade, 63 among all linebackers. That's slightly above average. And then his coverage grade is 53.4, 125th among all linebackers. That's below average, below average among all linebackers in the league. So I think with where the Bengals are in the draft, only having 6 picks, even if you just trade him to a team that needs a linebacker to get 1 pick back, so we have 7 picks overall, I don't think you're going to get a second or first rounder out of Germaine Pratt, but maybe a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounder. We lost our 7th rounder in the trade for Khalil Herbert, which now he is no longer being anyway, so we didn't waste it, but we kind of wasted our 7th round pick. I would have liked to see us try to keep Khalil Herbert because I like him as a running back. He played big in that last game of the season against the Steelers, but we're here. So we need a little bit more money on the cap space to sign some of our big names and to go get some other guys. So Germaine Pratt, I love him, but if he wants out of Cincinnati, I would grant him that wish. And trade him, try to get a pick back, or just cut him and save $8.18 million in cap space. Another guy that could be crucial to getting some cap space back and cutting. Ooh, sneak peek. Not cut him. Another guy I would cut is Zack Moss, running back. 2024, he had 74 carries for 242 yards. 2 touchdowns, averaging 3.3 yards per carry. He didn't play enough, so he had no PFF grades this season. Because of his injury. His base salary is $4 million in 2024. We signed him to a 2-year, $8 million deal. So 4 average per year. His cap hit is 4.8 for 2025. So if we were able to cut Zack Moss, considering Chase Brown is obviously our running back 1, we were playing Zack Moss more in the beginning of the regular season, more in the beginning of the season. I have no idea why. Chase Brown should have been this is running back one from the very beginning. He should be our running back one going forward. And then we just signed also Samaje Perine, who's more of a blocking running back and like a dunk pass kind of guy. So I don't really see the need of Zack Moss that much, considering we have Chase Brown and Samaje Perine for the foreseeable future. And then this draft where there's so many running backs where you can go get a guy in the 4th, 5th round who is equivalent to Zack Moss, or if not better, for a whole lot cheaper, like Cam Scatterbu or Ollie Gordon, or if you want to running back early, like Trey Hendrickson. Probably not Ashton Genty, but there's so many names in this draft that can fill that void at running back instead of Zack Moss, and you would save pretty much $5 million in cap space. So if you were to cut or release Germaine Pratt and Zack Moss, you would be pretty much opening up $13 to $14 million in your cap space to sign other guys and extend the guys that you need to extend that are already on your team. And obviously, like I already showed, the main guy that we should be worrying about now is Trey Hendrickson. Back-to-back seasons, 17.5 sacks. He is on average next year going to make around $15 million per year. And if you can even get $10 million in cap space, right? Give him that $10 million. Literally release Germaine Pratt and Zack Moss. $10 million of that dollars, just put that on Trey Hendrickson's contract. Sign him to 25. I think he would be fine with 25 a year, maybe even a little bit more, 27, 28, kind of like T. Higgins. I think Trey Hendrickson would be perfectly fine with that. And if you just make those 2 cuts, you have enough cap space to do that, to sign Trey Hendrickson, do a little bit more money, and sign him and keep him in Cincinnati for the foreseeable future. And another guy who's not on the team that you could use that money for to go sign would be Teeven Jenkins. And the Cincinnati Bengals have shown interest in Teeven Jenkins, guard, out of the Chicago Bears, but he also just completed a visit with the Seattle Seahawks, so Cincinnati has to act fast. We've already released Alex Kappa. We need a guard. We need to sign a guard. I would say we sign a guard and then also draft a guard. Teeven Jenkins, in my opinion, with the guards that are still on the board, should be that guard. PFF grade in 2024, 74.5 overall grade, 18th among all offensive guards. That's above average. Pass block grade, 75.8. That's 5th among all guards. That's also above average. And then run block grade, 74.3, 20th among all guards. That's also above average. And in 2024, he only had 4 penalties and 4 sacks compared to Alex Kappa, who had 8, and Cordell Volson, who had 6. So Teeven Jenkins would be a massive improvement in the guard position, especially with new offensive line coach Scott Peters. And with those few cuts, cutting Germaine Pratt or trading him for a pick, and cutting Zack Moss opens up the possibility for Cincinnati to extend Trey Hendrickson, which sounds like it's already going to happen. These few cuts will just make that an easier process. Or if you already feel like you have enough money to sign Trey Hendrickson, then release or trade Germaine Pratt and release and cut Zack Moss, and then use that money to go get Teeven Jenkins and then draft a guard, and then your offensive line should be fixed for the foreseeable future. But once again, there's so many different ways the Bengals could play out the rest of this offseason. It should be nowhere close to done. There's still a lot of moves that need to be made, and there's cuts that need to be made, extensions that need to be made, and signings that need to be made before the draft, which is coming up next month in April. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. Once again, if you love the Cincinnati Bengals as much as I do, we're going to be here every single day talking about whatever is going on in Cincinnati. Everything Cincinnati Bengals on this channel. Don't forget to like this video. Share this video with your other Bengals friends, because Cincinnati Bengals football is better together. Comment down below how you would feel about Germaine Pratt and Zack Moss being cut. And obviously let me know about extending Trey Hendrickson and then signing a guy like Teeven Jenkins. But thank you so much for watching this video. For the Bengals Digest channel, I'm Carson Lokey. Have an amazing one, and God bless.